Spokeo.com, this is the big, all the rage right now. Facebook's all lighting up about this website that is sharing all this personal information.
Sure.
First, kind of take me through it and what you're seeing.
Well, what you see is a combination of things. I mean, this is becoming our society. Everyone is on the internet. A lot of them actually have personalities on there. Some of them will go home for hours and live on this. That's how they react to each other. But what you get into is people are just, they get trusting and they just put more information on there than they probably should. Anytime that I highly suggest, anytime that you have an option, if it's an option, to give information out there, I don't do it. I keep as much of my information as private as possible. Like if you want to be on Facebook, and I understand social networks, they're a communication factor. But like that, some of them give way too much information. They'll talk about their kids, they'll talk about all the little details. And I know that a lot of this stuff they'll say you have to be accepted or have to be let on as a friend, but they can go on to like a high school site or places where they can get your information from the past, and they contact you acting like they're somebody else. These people are very good at what they do. And they put things together and they start building it like pieces of a puzzle that they would have never had unless you laid them out there. And then when they put it all together, they call you up or they email you, and then you think they are someone else. You've heard cases where grandparents have had grandchildren allegedly in trouble and need money, and they have all this information that makes them believe this really is this person, and off goes the cash. And when they figure it out, it's too late.
So on this site, the information that you see here, what information do you see, and is this concerning to you?
Well, it is, because you figure there again it helps them put those pieces of the puzzle together. Can you stop it all? You know, a lot of this stuff may be just public information now. We've become such a society of where the laws fight the laws, so to speak, and that stuff has to be on there. My suggestion is be very, very cautious. I mean, anytime someone sends you a survey, anytime they call you on the phone saying, hey, can we get your information? Example, like a credit card that people will call up acting like they're from your bank or credit card company. I highly suggest you do this. Say, hey, I'll call you back. Hang up, look at the card number on the back of your credit card, then call them back. If they say they're with someone from your bank or your loan or something that they have to have this information, simply get the number of the establishment that you know it to be. Call back and verify, yes, I have to give this to you.
Okay. So what we're talking about, the unfortunate part of this is that a lot of it is public, because you have a name, address, phone number, all publicly listed,
Sure.
most likely. You have relatives' names, anything you can prevent there? I mean, anything concerning there?
A lot of this stuff, though, Kara, a lot of this is compiled from other things that were done, like I say, random surveys or things that people have offered on their own. This is just data that's grabbed off and then all put together. So now where they're making money, they can sell you extra information.
Is that why a lot of this is so inaccurate, because it's compiled from so many different sources?
Very well could be.
Okay. This, for example, a lot of people are upset that the picture of their house is showing up on the internet. Bad news is public information. How do they get it?
Well, you look at, of course, different sources. One of them now, I know that you can go on and you can type in an address and it will show you from a satellite picture. You know, there's not a lot you can do about that.
What about, like down here, it has home value, lot size, home size. Where might they get this from?
And see, this can be possibly the county. You look at your real estate agents can get this information because they do comparables or comparisons of the local areas of what they've sold. Sometimes the stuff can be put on loan papers or whatever that may be public information.
So the problem is that you may think when you're providing information to one person, I'm only giving name and address, no big deal. The next person, I'm only giving name and phone number, no big deal. The next person, but the problem is that they all get compiled together to end up on a site like this. So it's when you add it all together that it becomes really a concern.
It does, and the more they get, the more pieces of the puzzle, the bigger the picture.
So do you suggest a site like this, and there are others out there, we're picking on Spokeo, but do you suggest a site like this that you go ahead and you go down to privacy and you take your name off?
I would. I mean, that's just my personal opinion, but I can just tell you, anytime I had the opportunity to take my name off of stuff, I would do it.
And is there a way to find your name to know if there are other sites out there that have this type of information?
People have been surprised. They do Google searches of their name, and it will come up in all different areas. I would do searches and everything else you can do, and I would look for privacy areas to remove myself if I possibly could.
So Google yourself.
Yeah,
and see where you are.
Definitely. I mean, find out. Check this. Basic Google's an easy one, because when you type your name on, I don't know if you tried that yet, but you can type your name on it. What comes up will surprise you, actually.
And be careful what you post on social networking sites.
Well, you watch it. People will post, like I said, their daily activities, the daily things they're doing, what their kid just did, the grades they just got. These are all things that can be conversation pieces to where you really could doubt or well, put it this way, they would make you believe that they knew you and knew your kids.
Another thing that's interesting is they have that family tree on Facebook where you can post your family members' names. Well, if you post your mom and your mom has her maiden name, which a lot of us have our married and our maiden name, then suddenly they have the maiden name, which is what you need typically for credit card information.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know, we've seen that before. So,
Okay. Any other tips? You said just don't give any information that you don't have to give.
well, just very careful. You know, like I said, you have to create an atmosphere of security for you and your family. You have to think all the time, protect myself and my family from things like this. And you know, if it was a perfect world, this stuff would be fantastic. You could put it out there and wouldn't have to worry about it. You could imagine the contacts you could have. But the risk always comes with that. The further your network expands, the more information you're willing to give them, the higher the risk level.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much.